Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to I Allegedly. I have got a good one for you today because we're going to talk about unprofitable, unpopular, overpriced, and now unsubsidized. Okay? Hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And I cannot wait to get into this with you. The EV car debacle has fallen apart completely over the course of the last year. It's that simple. One thing that we are seeing is the final straw for this industry is the fact that you cannot get the $7,500 rebate as of October 1st. And this is killing all of these companies. They have wasted hundreds of billions of dollars on this. And we're going to talk about this and how, some of you have bought these cars, some of you love them, some of you has said it was the single worst financial decision of my life, is what people have written me. But let's get into it. Other than Tesla, Model X, Model Y, those are the two cars that are selling. Those are the two cars that people are happiest with. Those are the two cars that you can get parts for, you can get service for. And are they pricey? Yes. Are the leases ridiculous? Yes. Now, I went to a baseball game over the weekend, and a woman told me, Dan, I drive 8,000 miles a year, and her employer leases her car for her. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's nice because I get a new car every 2 years. Okay, so that's great. That's great. Now, the EV car market has completely fallen apart. And the first thing is Ford tried to do shenanigans. They've got their Mustang Lightning car that looks good. It looks great. That is a beautiful looking car. And when I went to the Ford dealership to say, hey, I'd like to look at that car, I'm thinking American made. Oh, no, we don't have that with a combustible engine. It's only with the EV, plug-in. Nonsense. Okay. Think about this. I think of all my trips to Las Vegas to meet with people, and I've got a few coming up over the course of the next month. And I could not drive from Orange County, California to Las Vegas on a single charge. I would have to stop. You're going to hear more and more robbery stories as this goes on and on. My brother was on the Rivian waiting list, and one thing that he told me yesterday was one of the happiest things you ever did to my life was had me get my deposit back. Now, it was only like $1,500 for that Rivian truck, but he was driving to Washington State to visit his daughter and her husband, who was, in residency to be a doctor. And he did that trip, like every other month. And he's like, I couldn't imagine doing that trip and stopping 3 times along the way, minimum, to go out and plug for a couple of hours, plug in for a couple of hours. Ridiculous. Okay. Now, first things first, Ford canceled 3 electronic EVs, and that's done. And again, none of these companies, not one of them is profitable other than Tesla. None of them. None of them made any money. They've all gotten these subsidies. They've all gotten, government-backed loans that you and I have paid for with our tax dollars and, gotten rid of it. How about this? The Department of Energy has gotten rid of the words clean energy and emissions from, those are banned words right now as far as the government. Now, people are going to freak out when they hear that. And this is some conspiracy theory, and this is terrible that the government's doing this. No. Okay. I have multiple farmers that write me, but I have a friend, Mike, that owns a farm. And, he's got diesel trucks out there that they can work on. Imagine an electric tractor, which I'll talk about in a little bit. What a nightmare that would be. So let's continue the fun. Nissan has had a successful EV car called the Leaf. And right now it's in its, what generation is this? It's in its 4th generation of the EV, of the Leaf. So there's a car that's worked out pretty well, but I've been in a Leaf. I think it's kind of a toy, to be honest with you. But, prices on the lower side of the spectrum when it comes to these EV cars. So it's not super expensive, but Nissan's going to continue with that, but they're getting rid of everything else in their arsenal for electric cars. Goodbye, everything. The SUV, Acura cancels its EV car. Gosh, it's just, again, this ZDX okay? You know, was so much lower in delivery than they ever thought it would be. They thought people were just going to race to get these cars. I am telling you, grandma does not want to plug her car in. Grandma does not know how to plug her car in. Single women, go, for you to make it home, you have to go plug your car in. No, pass, pass. The next one, Dodge Charger Daytona. Um, Gosh, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Bentley. Who knew Bentley had an EV car? I mean, I talked about this, and remember Porsche's going all EV. Bentley's going to go. Rolls Royce is going to go EV. You can imagine some rich dude, seriously, plugging his car in. And I'm not talking this guy makes $300,000-$400,000 working stuff. I'm talking about loaded. Imagine this guy plugging his car in every night. Don't forget to plug my car in. No, it's not going to happen. So, there's other cars they suspect are going to fade away. We're worried about Rivian's RIT. You know, high owner satisfaction, but the price and the loss of money is a big deal. Now, Toyota, said we're going to stay away from the EV market. We're going to stick with the hybrids. And again, I mentioned Porsche, but think about this: tractors. The tractor industry, and this is what got this story going. Okay, as I started researching this, I had a guy who owned a farm, not my friend Mike, but somebody else. And this guy sent me a story from Facebook where he was a tractor supply dealer. And what these people did, now this is brilliant from the EV car market. They made these people buy inventory. These are going to sell, Charlie, they're going to sell like you wouldn't believe. So you've got to buy a minimum of 6 to start. He sold none of them. And then when they went to return them, like regular inventory, hey, listen, this doesn't work. No refunds. Huh? So they've got 2-ton paperweights sitting in their fleet that they can't sell. There was a Facebook page that was dedicated to this from 2023 that I found, and this is beautiful. Okay, so look at it below. It'll be the second story below on this, but look at the article and look at the comments to that Facebook page, because it talks about what a lie this was and what a letdown this was. And I am telling you, it is one thing. Imagine a golf course, okay? It's a beautiful, lush green golf course that I like coming out here every 2 weeks because they've been doing all this electrical and plumbing and nonsense out here. And they finally got this side covered up, but they're working on the other side, which we'll walk on in a minute. Point is that with all of this, okay, imagine, these electric golf carts, they get charged every day. They know how far they are, how far along they are. If an electric golf cart dies, they can push it to the side. Most of the golf carts are basically kind of a modified hybrid where you put your foot in the gas and you hear the motor kick in, but they're battery operated too, that keeps that going. So that's easy to fix. A tractor in the middle of a field when you have 40 acres and there's farms that are 1,000 acres. So don't get me wrong, this is crazy to talk about electric. The price, the problems with the environment, with the batteries out there, all these things. Read this stuff because it's great. Now, the next one is the good old electric school buses. This debacle, we were going to have electric semi trucks that were going to go around, and they were just going to be fantastic, and everybody was going to do this. But Lion School Bus, Lion Electric, was lying about the quality of these buses. They were such problems. And again, the one thing that you teach a child is responsibility. And either they have a work ethic or they don't. Either you can teach them to be on time or you can't. It is that simple. Lion school buses didn't help children because they would be broken down and they wouldn't be able to pick kids up from school. So they would be late to school. They would have service problems. They had nothing but issues with these things that were not reliable. So they ended up going out of business. And again, read all the stories below, because when you add all this stuff up, this was supposed to be the thing that was going to change everything and help the environment. It has cost billions and billions of dollars and lost all this money. And we have subsidized school buses. Electric school buses are insane. So They also deem these unsafe. Now, here's the thing I want you to think about. When you have these electric vehicles, they have problems with the door latches that can't open. Okay? They're electric door latches with a bus. Now, you get kids locked in a school bus, the fire risk was huge, and it was just insane, guys. I mean, this is nuts. I mean, the financial burden, school districts that use EPA funding for those boxes are now left with the responsibility to pay for these unsafe vehicles. Man, oh man. But again, read all the articles below, because the subsidy for the 7,500 is finally gone. And all these companies that tried to sell us and convince us that you're doing something good for the common man is just, it fell apart, completely fell apart. And the most wild thing was the school buses and all these, subsidies and all this money, this hundreds of millions of dollars that went into people's pockets and lined their pockets, is disgusting. So let me know what you think, okay? Please, because it's crazy, absolutely crazy that this is finally falling apart, and you get all these companies that are in unison getting rid of the $7,500 thing. Again, Elon Musk is upset about it, but he doesn't care. People are still going to buy that car. I meet people all the time that, I'm telling you, one popular email is, hey, I'll take you for a ride in my Tesla. It'll convince you in 15 minutes for a great car. It's a lovely car. We've been in a bunch of them. It's the best one, okay? But for me, it's not, because I don't know what my day is going to be. And I don't know, I'm telling you right now, if I had people that said, hey, listen, we can meet you, we're in Indiana, we're going to fly to Vegas, can you meet us there tomorrow? I can do stuff like that because of my lifestyle, and I can have my assistant and stuff take over and do that. But again, I can't do that with a Tesla. Just can't do it. I'm not stopping 3 times on the way, or twice, I'm exaggerating, to go to Vegas. My brother was at State Line. I'll end this EV talk right here. My brother was at State Line, and there's Whiskey Pete's on one side. It's a casino that went out of business in January, and I filmed that for you guys. And across the street, you've got that Mall of Death that had one store in it, is closed. And then you've got Buffalo Bills, which has that insane roller coaster. My brother was there, and he thought, wow, this is a Tesla convention. Hey, are you guys a car club or something? No, we're waiting in line. It was 40 people deep with the Teslas. He thought it was a club. They were waiting to charge, and they were worried. Every single one of them was worried they were going to run out of juice before they got up there. Okay? Again, multi-ton paperweight. So enjoy. But again, the truth be told, it finally came out. Unprofitable, unpopular, unsubsidized, and overpriced. Don't forget, I think I mixed it up that time, but you get the gist of it, okay? There's more to come. I want to take this moment to remind you that September, this is ridiculous, guys. It's Hunger Awareness Month. Hunger Awareness Month. To remind you that there's people that don't have food, that can't feed their kids, can't take care of themselves. We've all been up and down financially. We've all had times in our lives when cash was tight. Fran Glover runs a charity called Joseph Dreamhouse. And this is the last chance I get to remind you guys of this. But if you want to give money to a charity that is a 501c3, she will put together healthy meals. Every dollar you give her goes towards food. It doesn't go to anything else. And she is a beautiful person who has just done so much and done hundreds of thousands of meals. Please make a difference. The link will be below. Please. Okay? She calls it Hunger Action Month. It's Hunger Awareness Month, which is embarrassing that we have to have a month to remind each other that people are having difficult times. Give $5, $10, $100. It goes to a good spot. Okay? I donate there every year. You should too. Okay? A few things to finish this video. First things first, don't forget we just had an email go out today, and you need to, check your spam filter if you're on the list. If you're not on the list, what's wrong with you? All you do is you go to the video description and click on sign up for our email and give us your information, and it's that simple. Plus, we're giving away stuff between now and the end of the year, which is always super popular. Last year I gave out, well over 10 grand worth of stuff. So that's going to happen again. Okay? Don't forget we have a private channel called I Allegedly Live, where we talk about everything that's too hot to cover here. So that's that. And then a couple things to finish this, couple three. And I want to thank everybody that sends me this. Dr. Marvin sent me the story of First Brands, and my buddy Mike, sent me a message this morning in regards to this. This auto parts bankruptcy is one of the largest, bankruptcies since 2009. 2009, guys. This is one of the largest auto parts companies. We talked about how they couldn't get money from Goldman Sachs. And again, when you get cut off, that's when it's done. That's when the cockroaches are even bailing, and so are the rats. They're looking for a place to hide. But this is going to destroy the auto market. It shows you how bad cars are right now. I am telling you, do an ounce of research. Anything with a motor, whether it's electric, gas, or you wind it up with a rubber band, you can get a deal on it right now if you do research. I get people that write me and say, hey, I'm desperate in need of, grant money that you talked about. I'm telling you, the money's out there, guys. The deals are out there. Everything requires you to do one thing, and that is research and spend a little time. Look at people around you. Show up at the dealerships with the way you're going to pay for it. Oh, I have really bad credit, Dan, but I want the best price. Go to Ford right now because they're giving stuff away because they're insane, and you're going to get stuck with a payment you will not be able to keep. So, next thing is, the cost to heat your home this winter, unfortunately, is going to go up as usual. You're going to see heating oil for the average house go up 8.4%. You're going to see electricity go up over 9% this year. So, again, no break for any of us, none of us. If you are going to, if you use natural gas like I do at my house, you're looking at a 9.5% increase in the coming year. Again, no break for anybody. And again, this hurts the poorest and it hurts the elderly because these people, most of them have very little money to pay these bills. And when they go through this difficult time of winter, it costs them a fortune. Now, again, I always talk about Dr. Marvin and, Laura from Connecticut. But Laura from Connecticut sent me something great, and that is 90 new laws that take effect October 1st in Connecticut. Some of these are simple, from like, where you can hunt, if do you have, you can hunt on private land if you have approval, all this stuff. But there's just great 90 laws, and it's the last story in the video description. But also, courtroom access, all the stuff. As far as my favorite is, those car takeovers where you see the videos of the people spinning out and doing burnouts and stuff like that. Well, that's now a crime in Connecticut if these people get together. If you participate in it, you can be held responsible for gathering at these events. Here in California, they've had this law for a while. If you show up and some guy brought his car out here and they were doing donuts and stuff like that, and I started to film it, I could be charged just like I was the guy in the car. Now, it's insane, but what it does is it makes people go, maybe I shouldn't show up to something like this, because the kids, all they want to do is, anyways, you get it. You know what I mean? Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. And I want to remind you guys one last thing, and that is please support Fran Glover at Joseph Dream House, okay? She's a good person. And Hunger Awareness Month is a scam. It is horrible that we have to remind each other that there are people that have less than we do. Okay? Thank you. See you soon.